Hey, it's Michael Saul, also known as Tiny. This is the market video for the week of March 9th, 2015. Before I take a look at the charts, just want to remind you that the weekly market strategy session is Sunday, March 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern, where Paul Schatz and I will go over the market and answer all your questions, take a look at the sectors, commodities, bonds, everything that is market related, also events coming up. Now, if you can't make it on the 8th, or you're seeing this after the 8th, and you want to get the replay, all you have to do is join the mailing list over at paulandsaul.com, and I will leave the link in the description below. Okay? So if you're seeing this after the 8th and you say, oh, I missed it, that's all right. You can still get the recording by being on the list. So, what happened last week? Well, we started a pullback. Now, I've been looking for this, but as you've heard me say the last few weeks, I was expecting a pullback after we got to this spike high, and you could see we fell a little bit short. Now, this pullback right now is no big deal. You could see Friday took the brunt of it. It was the worst day of the week as far as a pullback is concerned, but it's still technically okay. The market is still technically okay. Nothing goes in a straight line. You have to know that by now. And we do have the 50-day moving average just below, which I'm going to be watching for support. Now, the last few times we've tagged the 50-day, it doesn't exactly hold to the tick. You could see on this pullback, we went through it again, and then even on the retracements up, we kind of break through it, and that's because it was more of a flat moving average. It does have some slope to it, so usually that will mean that it can come in as potential support, but there's no strategy, in my opinion, no worthwhile strategy, at least in my opinion. There is always a strategy, but there's no worthwhile strategy, in my opinion, to just sit there and try to pick it off at the 50-day moving average. You use it as a zone, and then you always dial down to a lower time frame in order to find your entry. Okay, see what's going on in the 60-minute chart, etc. Okay, now if you're just going to trade off the dailies, it's not a big deal, but you need a pattern to lean against. You either need a hammer or a small multi-candle pattern, okay, something like that in order to lean against. I still do not believe the all-time highs are in and we're just going to go into a bear market from here. I believe this is a pullback in an uptrend. Okay, the Qs I still think are going to new all-time highs. They broke down out of a small coil, as you just seen. I just had seen me erase, saw me erase. I don't know. Anyway, and we're back to the 20 EMA here. We have next support coming in at this previous high at 106.25. So we want to watch that for support. Again, is it enough to just pick it off at that number? No, but you want to watch that zone to see what we do over there. Russell, below the 20 EMA, not acting bad. Nothing's really acting bad here. Mid caps, yes, we're pulling back, but like I said, if you expect the market to go straight up or straight down, then you obviously have not looked at many charts. And by many, I mean more than two. Because maybe you can find one chart that's gone straight up or straight down, although I doubt that. But you will not see more than one or two charts ever that go, something like this. The whole chart looks just like this. Okay, usually we ebb and flow, we go back and forth, and that's volatility is mean reverting, and we cycle. Here's the Dow. We also want to watch the 50-day on the Dow. Let's look at some sectors quick. Semiconductors, 20 EMA. Watch it for support. Clad tanker now. All right, we want to see if this 200-day holds. If it doesn't, you got a gap down here in the 55s to watch. So that could be a nice pullback. ADI is looking good. Back to the 20 EMA. See if it holds. Intel. Okay, Intel, I drew these lines in last week. I believe it was either on the video or at the Sunday night strategy session, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Yes, it's below the 200-day, but this low is important. 32.81 is important because that's the recent low from earlier in the year. How about a stock like NVIDIA? Still looking okay. I mean, Friday it had an inside day, but still looking okay on NVIDIA. How about like a Maxim? Yep, it's still looking okay. So there are still some semiconductors that are looking nice, and you should focus on them if we do get a bounce in the stocks. Okay, the banks. This was a weird kind of tick here on Friday. You could see that Bank of America is really not gaining much traction. It rejected the 50-day, and now it's back below the 50 and the 200. This has to break out of this, whatever it is, before we can try to sink our teeth into it. Here's Citigroup on a nice short-term uptrend. See if it holds support on the way back. Here's Bank of New York. Also has that weird tick. Here's JP Morgan. Nasty day on Friday. Watch the 20 EMA. See if that holds. Broker-dealer. Looking okay. Goldman. Yeah. I mean, not looking so great, Goldman. I mean, it's above the moving averages, so it's not really... you can't really say it looks terrible, but I mean, it's not looking like, oh my goodness, look what a monster Goldman is. Legg Mason looks like it could be in a bull flag here. Watch the 50-day moving average if it continues to pull back. Let's look at some of the high flyers on Amazon, which had been on a nice little upside mission. Okay, just had trouble up here in the around 390. Watch the 20 EMA for support at 374. See if that holds. Apple, 20 EMA here. Could be another bull flag, but I want to see the market turn here. All right, don't know if we have more to go or if this is all she wrote here. All right, this is the NASDAQ again. I mean, yeah, just because Apple looks like it's in a nice pattern, all it is artwork, unless it gets confirmation. All right, and a break. Here's Googleicious, okay, which had a pretty good week up until Friday. It's definitely extended, so see if it can get a little bit of relief here. Priceline, same kind of deal. Watch the 1200 handle. Netflix, okay, Netflix starting to pull back too. I mean, it's had a really nice run off of this low here, so this is potential support. This little zone here. Okay. Facebook. I mean, it's okay. It's acting all right, but it's not in a rush to go anywhere. But it's been in this wide range here, not going on. What is it? 9 months or whatever it is. I don't know. More than that, right? 8, 9 months, whatever it is. So there's you got Facebook, eBay looking okay, nice and strong. Yahoo. All right, I'm not looking so great here. This pullback looked like it was going to pull back and then try to go, but what happened is it just got extended here. Now it's back down to the 200-day. How about like a stock like Baba? Yeah, Baba had this big day on Wednesday, but still acting overall like crap. How about Visa? Starting to pull back. Watch the 50-day moving average. MasterCard. Yeah, it was looking okay. I mean, you may have a small little M pattern here. Watch the 20 EMA as support. How about MX? Okay. It broke down out of this pattern here. See if it's going to retest the lows. Caterpillar. See if that's going to retest the lows. Not looking great. John Deere. Watch the 50-day moving average. Support. Potash, nice impulse to the downside here. Watch for a bear flag to form on Potash. Las Vegas Sands, it doesn't look too great. Win Las Vegas looks even worse. Looks like that's going to take out these lows here, or at least test these lows. If it takes it out, though, I mean, this thing could go back to 100. So just watch this here. How about Ford and GM? I get questions on these all the time. 200-day moving average holding for now. And General Motors looks better than Ford. Okay, could draw in a type of bull flag. But again, you got to see the buying pressure come in and break. It's not just, it's in a bull flag buy. It doesn't. That's not what a bull flag means. You have to wait for confirmation. All right? As long as we're on the 2-letter G symbols, let's go to GE. So G had a nice push up this year, and now you got the 20 EMA. It's holding it down here. How about Hewlett Packard? Yeah, looks weak. Had the gap down here. Went a little further, then it had the bear flag. Target looks down to this 3160 area. Microsoft, yeah, not looking great either. Microsoft not looking too sharp. Here, looks like it wants to retest its lows, down just above 40. Cisco, pulling back, holding this area here, but, I mean, if it gives it up, you got the 50-day moving average below. How about gold? Yeah, gold looks like it's going to retest the lows. Crude oil is coiled. Got to wait for it to release one way or the other. I still think oil has lower prices to be seen, but I am not going to guess. I am going to wait and see which way it breaks. I skipped over silver. I apologize. Yes, silver doesn't look great either. How about the grains? Wheat, looks like they're going to test the lows. Corn. Yeah, corn is kind of hanging on here, but if this breaks out of this pattern, all right, and joins wheat, I could see a push to the downside. Soybeans also look weak. How about bonds? Yeah, wow, what a day for bonds on Friday. Probably should have started the conversation with this, but it held the 200-day moving average. It is stretched. I want to see what it does here over the next few sessions, because if it can consolidate here, then that's where we really want to key off of, because maybe it's ready to break through this 200-day and retest these lows down here at the 150 handle. Okay. Let's do the euro. Yep. And the dollar keeps rallying. The euro keeps getting smacked. I still believe that the euro is going to par at a minimum. And let me grab the Fibonacci grid out. Let me grab the fib. Yeah, I mean, this is the 78.6% retracement. This looks like a magnet. I think par is the magnet, but then under there, that's your support. And if that gives way, it's going to new lows, which is what I think is going to happen anyway. Okay, but one step at a time. I think par is going to be first up. Here's a dollar yen. Looks like it's ready to go. Keep your eye on it. Here's Aussie. Whoops. Aussie dollar. That looks lower too. Okay, dollar CAD. Looks like it's going to go higher. So, a lot of good opportunities in the currencies here. Looks like some pretty nice setups here. So again, we're in the midst of a I don't know, we're pulling back. How about that? Watch the 50-day moving average here on the S&P 500. For now, it's a pullback in an uptrend, and I'm going to be watching for a buying opportunity here. Not going to guess at it. I want to see confirmation at support, or in an area of support at least, so that I could lean against it. All right. Still do not think the highs are in and we're going to the bear market. Looks like it could be a rock and roll type of market the next couple of weeks with the bonds and the currencies and gold. Looks like it wants to trade lower, and crude oil ready to move. So a lot of things setting up here. Should keep you plenty busy depending on what you trade. All right. That's it. And I hope to see you at the market strategy session, or at least if not live, I hope to talk to you on the recorded session at least. But try to make it. If you get this in time, I'll leave all the links below in the description. Any questions, as always, tiny@stockmarkettrendsx.com. Have a great trading week.